people don't understand that in order to get to where you want to go to, you're going to have to do a lot of things that are not convenient. And the way you can do that in a way that is effective and efficient is ego death. Just because you don't express your power doesn't mean you are not who you are. It's very important to understand the difference between being modest and being humble. Humble is downplaying your importance. Modest is downplaying yourself. Never be modest, always be humble. And someone like 50 taught me something very, very, very key, which is there is only one you, and that is your selling point. A lot of people look at others and compare just based off what they see, without really having full understanding of what exactly they're seeing. But when you're authentic to yourself, which funny enough goes back to know thyself, you tend to understand that, yeah, I probably want this because other people want it, not because I want it. And when you can come to that true understanding, then you ask yourself, okay, who am I and what exactly do I want? If you're an artist, you really need to sit down with yourself and be like, what message am I trying to pass across through music in a way that is true to me, but tackles one of these three things? The first one is relatability. The second one is emotion. The third one, which is the one I prefer, is mystique. So these three things can make people curious, literally, to be like, who is this person? Like, why do I feel this way? I need to know more. And then whatever you encounter in the experience of your research is either you believe or you don't believe. Happiness is very fleeting because it revolves around what you like, not what is good for you. And these are two very different things. What you like might not necessarily be good for you, but what is good for you is necessary for your growth. Your emotions are your navigational compass. When you have a feeling or a vibe that something is off, tap into that feeling and ask yourself, why do I feel that this place is off? Because usually you can come to an answer without being very vague and just saying bad vibes, because that's too lazy. You have to be very precise in defining what exactly it is that is pissing you off or making you feel happy or making you feel sad. Because ultimately, your emotions will tell you about yourself, not about another. Because the truth is this, the best way to establish relationships is to be as selfless as possible. But the moment your emotions ride you, your emotions will tell you so many reasons as to why you should fashion this person or why you should ignore this person. But the truth is this, they're a human being just like you. Instead of focusing on what's wrong with them, ask yourself what is wrong with me and fix that through your emotions guiding you. One of the reasons why I'm saying focus on peace and strength is because it takes a lot to deny yourself the intrinsic gratification of like. You understand what I'm saying? It's kind of like this. In this industry, right, you're going to face a lot of challenges. And a lot of people are going to do a lot of things you don't like, right? But you need to ask yourself, in this situation where I don't like the things I'm experiencing, what good thing can I pick out of it that I can learn from the standpoint of growth? And if you can really do this, you can find peace even in chaos. So the first thing is understanding that, okay, peace can be found by accepting the things that are good for me and not prioritizing the things that I like. And strength can be gotten by attacking resistance head on. And growth is not necessarily just like from the standpoint of what is obvious. It is honing your skills. That is also growth. Like, are you sitting down practicing the things, studying other people you admire, and literally going, oh, I like this. Okay, let me take this and add to me. Because here's the thing, you can learn from everybody. The wise man learns from his enemies. Trust me. Well, it's very hard to study somebody and be like, especially when you don't like them, I'll be like, oh, forget this person. Everything this person is doing is trash just because you don't like them. But the truth is, if you're wise, you would understand that you don't like this person because there's something that you can possibly learn about yourself that you can apply to yourself that will refine yourself. You understand? Which is why I'm always saying don't prioritize like happiness, because people can piss you off. Prioritize strength, and trust me, things will change. If you're doing something in a particular way for a long amount of years and it's not getting you the results you want, you have to actually take a step back and be like, am I doing this wrong? I need to find a different way of doing this. And really that starts with having a new why. If you have a new why, that why reorientates the way you move. Outside the music industry, there's the industry of life. And if you don't tap into the principles of life, you will suffer in any industry you decide to work on. Because the truth is this, every single human being here is created by the same source. Whatever you believe is the same source. And if you understand that we are literally all the same, just experiencing things in different ways, then you understand that, oh, community is what's important, because we will facilitate for each other in our areas of weaknesses. And if you can do this consistently, you will blow.
As a business manager for a creative startup based in Nigeria, How do you navigate pricing and rate cards in this era where the naira is so low? And if you set your price in dollars, people in your immediate Nigerian network will be scared to work with you. How do you navigate that pricing and value system?
There's a saying I have, which is if you focus on what is important, what feels urgent will take care of itself. Money is not the most important thing right now. What is important is establishing the brand. Because when you establish the brand, you would attract money. You won't even need to chase. They'll be throwing it at you. Oh, please work with me, please. I beg. You get a lot of that, right? But yeah, in terms of setting your price, the only reason why you should compromise is if you can see something that is actually beneficial for your client. Do you understand? So maybe the money is not right, but the exposure is oiled. You understand what I'm saying? If that's the case, take it. If that's not the case, don't compromise. Because trust me, 10 out of 10 times you get to that show and you would regret that you did it. Maximizing your service base would attract the clientele that will give you the leverage to not compromise, even if it's in naira. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's sharpening your service skill consistently. Like, you can't compromise on that.
But how can an artist manager approach sponsors for an upcoming artist, like really upcoming artist?
Build the story in a way that attracts interest. And you have social media tools for this. Do you understand? You have your shorts, you have your posts, you have your stories. As long as the music is good, you can build a brand around that music that would make people be curious enough to check you out. All you need to do is focus on the actual craft. Do you understand? Because if you perfect that craft, you will get what is yours.
Do you have any long-term plans for any artists that you manage? Like, is it part of something you think of at the beginning, or is it like is an artist time in the limelight just like this short-term thing where it's like, okay, maybe in the next 10 years you're not popular anymore, and then everybody just goes their separate ways, and whatever happens to you is fine? Do you have that from the beginning?
That's a good question. Don't ignore the red flags because of what you want. I think that's the best thing I can say. You will meet people that are talented, right? But what establishes longevity is character. And when I say character, I mean in all facets of that word character. People that have integrity, people that are willing to learn, people that are honest, people that are generous. You understand?
My question is it okay to have like a bigger vision than your artist? So you meet an artist and he's good, he's dope, and you're like, dude, man, you can do this shit, but he doesn't believe in it, like, because he has been hustling and he's like, I've tried so many things, man, this is not gonna work. But you believe and you see it. Is it a problem as an artist manager for your vision to be bigger than that of an artist?
The only thing you can do for somebody, right, is give them advice, right, and also know you cannot control their actions. These two things are very fundamental. So even if you give somebody advice, you can't control their actions. So the best you can do is advise them and hope that it triggers something in them to make them think. But if somebody is not ready, I promise you, no matter your belief, it doesn't matter. I've experienced that personally. Now, it doesn't mean that at some point they wouldn't wake up. But the truth is, if you stay there longer than necessary, it will be to your detriment. Why? Because you have so much belief in this person, yet it's not manifesting in a way that you see it. But then you need to ask your question. You need to ask yourself, why do I see it this way? Based off the imagination I have rather than the reality of what I'm seeing. Because like I said, it's not talent that gets you there. And I'm sure that's why you're saying this. You're saying, this guy's talented, he will blow. Blowing is not talent. It's character. Does he have the work ethic to sustain? Because here's the thing. Let's say he gets a hit by chance. Do you know how much work it takes to sustain that? You have to be so diligent and resilient in this thing, because this is a cutthroat industry. Do you understand? It's very important to know exactly who you are so that you can spot the complementary pieces within your circle and know who to align with. Who you align with can make you or break you, and fundamentally that's with. I'm be blessed to have an amazing team around me, but that's as a result of me suffering. Do you understand? But like I said, your suffering is just resistance to give you strength. You need to identify the friends that have a knack for certain things that are probably putting it in the wrong place. Do you understand? And lean in by building relationships with them, not by saying, yo, my music. No. Because every human being has a threshold of like how much they can tolerate. Do you understand? So focus on relationship building so that you yourself can know, okay, this person is for me, and then ask, yo, bro, can you manage me? Do you understand? But you need to spot certain qualities within the person that will make you know this, instead of looking for somebody that is promising you illusions. Because the truth is this, for somebody to get up their ass and be like, I believe in you and manage you, it means you really have something. So what I would advise you to do is play your music for where you feel love is. Do you understand? And be egoless in taking feedback. I believe it's not money that leads to growth. It is love, care, and understanding. Do you understand? And no random person on the internet is going to do that for you. You really need to start with what you genuinely have. And the key word is what you have. Because everything that you need for your current situation, you already have. You just need to see it properly. If you don't have anything, you have to start with what you have. And what you have is your music and your story. You must consistently put this out and also put money behind this, because let me not lie to you, you need some sort of finance to put behind, whether it's through tweets, YouTube, or Instagram. Do you understand? And a little advertisement could go a long way, especially if the content is strong.